So her Neptune at 21 degrees starts sextile Uranus, is going to move forward. And as it moves forward, maybe it'll, no, it's not going to square this, and it's not going to really, it might come up, oh, it starts square the moon. Her Neptune starts square the moon. But by moving forward, it's moving away. Oh, it's actually, her chart's really interesting. It's actually her Neptune is retrograde when she's born, but stationary retrograde. It's at the last few days, few minutes of being retrograde, 21:35. It stayed retrograde for 5 days, but look, it was stationary, 21:35. You wouldn't see it in the minutes. You'd see it in seconds if they had one accurate enough, equation accurate enough. And it changed in she's born in 67, 1971. It started moving forward. And in 1973, she was born 67, so 16, Neptune got back to its own position. Well, so if it's getting back to its own position, Uranus it might make the sextile, might come back to make these sextiles to Uranus, Pluto, but it went back to its own position at 16. I'm not sure how old she was when she came here, but went on and in 2007, it sextiled Uranus. So there's a point of belief in change, in sudden changes, and change of outlook, change, moving in the world, changing in the world. And you're talking minutes, so this could be anywhere within a degree or so. This is still highly active. So it came back and it sextiled Uranus, not a square. So that's, and right now it would be in hexagram 45, which is, sorry, I'll just get this back up here. '45 is gathering together, massing, accumulating things. It's in the Aquarian aspect. The Aquarian hexagram is called Innocence, the Unexpected, Sudden Changes, and 43 is Breakthrough Resoluteness. So she's at her point of breakthrough resoluteness. So Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, and she's studying her astrology during the Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, changing her beliefs and going along with adding ideas to her beliefs. It goes along and it'll make, in 2041, it would make a 135-degree aspect quadrate to the midheaven. But it's not really making any other aspects in her life. So she doesn't get really bad aspects from this. It's more just shifts, and you can follow the themes as they go through. That's it, Pluto. Pluto. I got two screens here, so you guys are seeing one, and I'm just pulling things to one screen over. That's how this is working. So we'll make this a bit bigger if we can to see it a bit better. It's not a lot of time to read it. You have your printouts. It's worth going over them and highlighting them to just make things stand out and make it a little bit more real. Her Pluto starts at 18 degrees of Virgo. Will it come up and conjunct Uranus? Will it get that far at 21 degrees? I don't know. It's not making any difficult aspects. It's not inclined to. So just going forward, it changes from it's Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius. It changes to Pisces subpentan. Goes along. In 2007, it was a bigger change. It changed from, it went to 20 degrees, of Virgo, and changed from a Capricorn pentan to Aquarius, and from Pisces to Aries on the sublevel. And right now, it would still be in that. Would be in hexagram 4, which is, all right, just have it right here. Is youthful folly, keeping still in difficulties. Youthful folly. It's in the hexagram 21 of Aquarius. It's hexagram 21 of Aquarius, which is biting through obstacles, and it's in the hexagram of inner truth in Aries. So this whole process is from June 18. It's just going through this during our whole weapon series too. But this is her Pluto coming up. It's not really running. It will in conjunct the moon. It doesn't really make. If she lives long enough to 2052, it would conjunct the Uranus. That would add a very independent point to her strengths. Okay, so okay, example 4. Okay, let's pull out the. Okay, let's pull them all out at once. Pluto. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have all these ones. So we look at the chart. Uranus and Pluto are conjunct in her 12th house. So her sense of freedom and shock, or having to be independent, or her sense of excitement, almost comes from having to break away from seemingly smothering or isolating effects. 12th house. So again, it's not me. It's like the other chart, 2 days difference, but it's different houses. But there's the 18 and 21 degrees, and here Neptune opposes the moon. But this Uranus, it's going forward. Starts 20 degrees, moves forward. You move up, it'll make a 45 degrees aspect to the sun in 1977. And then it'll change degrees. It's changing degree now, but it won't make a significant aspect to a planet. It goes up to 2747. So it starts at 18, it goes up to 27. That's about as fast and as far as Pluto can go in a lifetime. That's 10 degrees it's moved. But this is Uranus. It can't, yeah, that's correct. That's about as fast as far as Uranus goes, 21 to 27, 7, 8 degrees. Yeah, I haven't seen any much further than that. Okay. Right now, she's at, it's still Virgo, it's in hexagram 7. I have a board with all, I know them by degrees, but I have to just confirm them by the, it's hexagram 7 is the army, sort of, it's called the army. It's just, we just have to, it's a Virgo theme about working too hard and being over efficient. Receptive to what needs to be done. But this is in this hexagram, we're going through the classes, and it's in the sub-theme of 37 is, it's 37, and of course that's innocence, the unexpected. Is that right? No, 37 is the family, the clan. So it's moved from after completion of the family, the clan right now, this May, it moved, changing that from after completing things into the family, the clan, and it's moved from Virgo sub-Pentan, the sub-Pentan to Libra sub-Pentan. So there's some significant shifts here, shifts in hexagrams, shifts in pentagrams, shifts in sub-Pentan, and these will all put a tone on her level of excitement, how she sees astrology, how she's using it, and changing it, and working with it. Okay, we get to Neptune. Her Neptune starts retrograde like the other one. It starts retrograde, but really it's just stationary. Retrograde stays in the same degree and minute for the first 4 years of her life, 4 or 5 years of her life, and then it starts moving forward almost imperceptibly. So her Neptune returns, comes back to its own place by 1973. She's 6 years old, just starting school. Okay, so there's some puzzle in the beginning point here, and goes back before this lifetime, goes back up. It's here some strange. We will curiously what happened in a lifetime during that time. Then it conjuncts into Neptune and started moving forward in her life, and from then on, it just goes straight forward. It sextiles Uranus that was 2007. Right now, it's Scorpio, Aquarius, Gemini, Pentan. It's in hexagram breakthrough resoluteness, in the sub-pentan, the Gemini. It's in X-Rep 43, breakthrough resoluteness. And Cancer in 2041 has a 135, a stressful aspect to the midheaven. That's a minute. So that's Neptune. It's easy to gloss over these things and just say, oh, that's just it. That's it. Okay, so I looked at it. And that's kind of what I'm doing by showing these. But I'm just trying to get some examples of the textures of these things. So it's just the format of working with a webinar and how to maintain some privacy and be able to work with such intimate details that the work to make these more personal. It depends on the person's life and what's going on. So here's the Pluto at 1857 of Virgo. It's moving up. It goes into 19 degrees early in 1968, and then goes into 20 degrees, change of pentan from Capricorn to Aquarius in 1999. And right now, August 15th to May 20th, right now in April 26th to 20th, I wouldn't hold to the dates exactly, like they would be within a day or two or something like this. This would be dealing with minute measurements. But it goes to make a 45-degree aspect to Mars. This is the Pluto. That's kind of a harshness that comes in a little bit. It's not a square, not huge, but it's still going to be there over the in the springtime, over the winter into the springtime. Then it passes by that, but really it's been there within the degree of that for a long time. If you're looking at minutes of a degree, it's still 5 or 10 years on that period, on that semi-square to Mars. If it goes long, it'll sextile Neptune. If she lives long enough, her Pluto will come up. In 2056, it will conjunct Uranus. So that really adds an exciting or a different level of expression of Pluto. So, and she's going to feel that. That's 2058. So even half a degree, 2028, from 2041 on. So I think this is to do with her being an astrologer and doing it and putting her truth out in the astrological way and doing her own thing. Like you have so many other things talking about the personal things. These are just shifts of attitude of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto within your chart. When you get into the deeper symbols, the hexagrams and the metaphors that they apply, I found it quite astonishing and very reinforcing, sometimes challenging. Now, example 5, we'll just pull out the roll. Uranus.